What would you do if, one winter night, as the icy wind whispers through the bare branches of the trees, you heard voices that do not belong to this world? Voices that carry echoes of people who disappeared decades ago, revealing secrets buried beneath the snow. This is where our story begins. In the small town of Shadow Valley, December not only brings the cold, but also the unsettling winds of winter. These winds, known for their strange murmurs, have always been the subject of legends and whispers among the town's oldest inhabitants. It was said that those who dared to listen carefully could hear the voices of those who mysteriously vanished many winters ago. For Luis, a young programmer passionate about the mysteries of technology and the supernatural, these stories were just grandmother's tales. Until one night, while walking alone in the forest, he felt an irresistible urge to stop and listen. The winds of winter seemed to envelop him, whispering his name with a chilling familiarity. Luis tried to rationalize it, attributing it to his mind playing tricks in the solitude of the night. But then, a clear and desperate voice stood out among the murmurs. "Help me?" Terror took hold of him, but so did a strange curiosity. Armed with his laptop and his relentless investigative spirit, Luis decided to look into the history of the disappearances in Shadow Valley. His searches led him to discover that he was not the first to hear those voices. Old records and diaries spoke of winds that carried away the unwary, and of people who were never seen again. The deeper he delved into the investigation, the more disturbing the experiences he lived became. His nights were filled with nightmares, and the voices grew more insistent. A pattern emerged. All that disappeared had been linked to an ancient ritual performed in the forest, a ritual meant to summon beings from another world. Luis knew he had to follow the clues, even though each step brought him closer to the edge of sanity. He decided to visit the town library, hoping to find some forgotten record that would give him a crucial clue. Among the dusty archives, he found an old, worn book, The Secrets of Winter, detailing the dangers of summoning the spirits of the wind and the dire consequences of trying to control them. The book's warnings were clear. Those who dared challenge the winter winds not only risked their lives, but also their souls. Luis, however, was determined to discover the truth, not just to satisfy his curiosity, but to free the souls trapped in the winds. With the knowledge gained, Luis ventured into the forest, this time equipped with cameras and devices to document his experience. The winds were stronger that night, and the voices clearer. Each step he took resonated like a heartbeat in the icy silence. Suddenly, the voices united in a deafening scream, and the wind turned into a furious storm. Luis was pushed to the ground but remained firm, determined to face the unknown. As he looked up, he saw ethereal figures forming among the snow and wind, their pale faces and empty eyes reflecting eternal suffering. Luis, with a mix of fear and compassion, extended his hand, murmuring a prayer he had learned from the book. The figures stopped, and for a moment, time seemed frozen along with the air. One of the figures, a young woman with long dark hair, approached Luis and whispered, "Thank you." In that instant, the wind ceased and the figures disappeared, leaving behind an overwhelming silence. Luis, with his heart pounding, understood that he had freed those souls. However, he knew his own soul would never be the same. He returned to the town, where he shared his experience with the few who dared to listen. He documented every detail, hoping his story would serve as a warning to others. The following weeks were a whirlwind of emotions and reflections. Luis began to notice changes in his perception of the world. The winds, which once seemed like simple natural phenomena, now held a deep and terrifying significance for him. The whispers of the wind still resonated in his mind, but they were no longer filled with desperation, but with gratitude. The townsfolk, upon learning of Luis's experience, began to treat him with a mixture of respect and fear. The elders remembered hearing similar stories in their youth, but no one had achieved what Luis had. Determined to help others who might face the same situation, Luis created a blog where he detailed every step of his experience. His writings quickly attracted the attention of people from all over the world, who shared their own stories of encounters with the supernatural. Through his blog, Luis formed a community of support and learning, where they together tried to unravel the mysteries of the unknown. Each new story they read reinforced the idea that the world was full of unexplained phenomena, and that perhaps, just perhaps, there were more things connecting us than we could understand. Luis's blog became a source of knowledge and comfort for many. However, he never forgot the risk he ran, nor the souls he freed. He decided to organize an expedition to the forest of Shadow Valley with some members of his community, armed with the wisdom and equipment necessary to document and possibly free more trapped souls. Upon arriving in the forest, the group experienced a series of inexplicable phenomena that left more than one questioning their own sanity. However, the strength of the community and Luis's determination allowed them to stay focused on their goal. As they progressed, the voices in the wind manifested again, this time more clearly and coordinated. The group, guided by Luis, began to perform the ritual learned from the book, The Secrets of Winter. The ethereal figures appeared again, but this time there was no fear, only a sense of purpose. The trapped souls seemed to understand that the group was there to help them. With each prayer recited and each ritual gesture, the wind grew softer and the figures more tangible and less spectral. Finally, in a climax of energy and emotion, the freed souls vanished in an explosion of light and wind, leaving the group in a profound and overwhelming silence. Luis and his companions felt a deep connection with those souls and a gratitude that they could hardly put into words. The group, though exhausted, returned to the town with a renewed sense of purpose and a story to tell. The experience of the expedition reaffirmed the belief that there was more to this world than we could see, and that the human spirit was capable of extraordinary things when faced with the unknown. As he documented this second expedition, Luis not only shared the details on his blog, but also worked on a documentary that soon went viral. The images and testimonies captivated audiences worldwide, bringing the story of the winter winds to a global level of recognition. Luis continued his work of unraveling the mysteries of the world, always with the memory of those icy nights and the souls he was able to free. And so, dear friends, remember that the world is full of secrets and mysteries that are sometimes better left undisturbed. If you ever find yourself walking on a winter night and hear voices in the wind, perhaps it is better to quicken your pace and not look back. If you enjoyed this story, don't forget to subscribe to the channel, leave a like, and comment on what you thought. Until next time, stay safe from the winter winds